Hi everyone and welcome to this week's lesson. Last week we looked at the Olympics with the ancient Greeks and how the Olympics came about. And we looked at sport, we looked at running and boxing and equestrian events and all the events that were part of the Olympics and the rules and regulations, and we made up a brilliant dance phrase around that. So this week we are carrying on with the ancient Greeks. But we are looking at how we know about these things. We did touch on this last week a little bit, but the reason why we know about all these things that happened so long ago was to do with pottery. Now, don't panic. This does not sound very interesting, but it is. I've been doing lots of research. And the thing is with the pottery is they basically drew and made these beautiful, beautiful pots, which I'm going to show you lots of pictures of later. And it showed amazing pictures, and those pictures are how we know what happened then, today. So using these pots and pictures and beautiful images, we can make up some dances about what happened all those years ago. So we're going to warm up first, and then we're going to have a look at some pictures, and then we're going to create our dances. So first of all, let's get into the space and warm up, get our heads ready, get our bodies ready, and we are going to start by, do you remember we've done this before, where I call out 4 things and we're going to mix them up in order, and you have to do these 4 actions. So the first one is standing in parallel, and when I call out number 1, you're going to roll down. So we're standing in parallel, so our feet are slightly far apart but not too far apart, our shoulders are nice and relaxed, and our heads are really heavy, and that's going to take us down to roll down all the way to the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, bend the knees, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up. So that's number 1. Number 2, we're going to bring our arms up, and we call this a ski swing, and we're just going to go down, swish, and up, and swish, and up. Good. Now mind where you are in the room, so you don't swish into anything, because we might not have lots of space where we are. Okay, I have to be careful of my low ceiling, keep hitting my hands on it. So just you swish down, bend the knees, swish back and up, swish back and up. Good, that's number 2. Number 3, we're going to reach out to a high level. 1, reach out, 2, 3, 4, middle level, 5, 6, and low level, 7, 8. So I want to see really big stretches, stretch the side, stretch the other side, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good, and the last one, we're going to twitch like you have ants in your pants for 8 counts. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Okay, so really fast twitching, and that's a great way to get super warm. Okay, so number 1, roll down. Number 2, ski swings. Number 3, reaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 4, twitching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so let's start with number 2. Let's do our swings and go. 1, up, swing, and up. Good. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 3, reach. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reach. 6, 7, 8. Good. Number 1, feet together, rolling down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bend the knees. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. 2, swish and up. Keep breathing. Swish and up. Good. Number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bend the knees, rolling up. Good. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well done. Very good. Have a breather. Shake off your arms. Big shake. Give them a rub. Good. All up your arm, your shoulder. Back of your shoulder if you can reach. And the other arm. Rub, 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 rub the back of your shoulder. Good. Warm up those muscles, warm up your chest, warm up your tummies, warm up your legs, the top of your legs and the back of your legs. Good. All the way down to your feet. Rub those feet. Good. And give your legs a pat. Tummy a pat. Chest a pat. Head's a pat. Good. Can you tap your fingers on your head? Can you hear it? It sounds a bit like rain, doesn't it? Take a deep breath in and take a breath out and exhale. Deep breath in and breath out. Good, very nice. And shrug those shoulders. Good. Okay, now we are going to look at our speeds, because again in dance, this makes dances look very interesting if we have some slow bits and some fast bits and some middle bits as well, and also stillness, which is very important in dance. It really draws the audience's eye to look when you're very still, if you want them to look at something specific. So we are going to do our speeds 1 to 5. 1 is our super slow motion, which is quite hard, isn't it? We talked about this before. You've got to think about every single part of your body. What's it doing? You can't have a fast foot and a slow rest of the body. You've got to have everything the same. So that's number 1. Number 2 is a little bit quicker. And remember, you can move however you want to move. So this isn't a technique. You don't have to, as in your body has to go in a certain position. It can go wherever you want it to. Okay, number 3 is a little bit quicker. Okay, so kind of normal moving speed. Okay, we're going to build it up to number 4. Okay, around the space. Again, watch your space, because the faster we go, the less time we have to look at things and we might knock them over. And number 5, go super fast. Okay, so again, I'm going to mix these up and we can play around with the different speeds. So let's start with the number 3. Nice, nice, nice. Nice normal speed. Good. Try some different movements out. What is your back doing? What are your arms doing? What's your head doing? Number 4, let me go a bit faster. Okay, straight into number 5. Really fast, well done. Woo! Good, straight down to number 2. Whoa. Yeah, that's quite a big jump, isn't it, from 4 to 2. It's quite hard to suddenly go slower, isn't it? And we're actually going to go even slower to number 1. And I know you're really good at this one. You've got really good control. Well done. Oh, it's a chance to breathe a bit, isn't it, as well? Get your breath back, but not for too long, because we're going to ramp it up quite quickly to number 2. Here we go. Oh, that was too fast, wasn't it? Number 2. Good. Getting too excited about moving fast. Number 3. Here we go. Number 4. Okay, number 5. Go for it. Woo, last time. Well done. 4. Winding down. 3. 2. And 1. And we're going so slowly. We are going to freeze. Good. Well done. Okay, have a breath. Right. The next thing I'd like us to look at are some shapes and some movements, just to expand our movement vocabulary a little bit more. So when we come to creating our dances, we've got some more ideas about how we can move. So the first word I'm going to call out is the word star. And you can make any kind of star you like. So you can make that kind of star. You can make a much more interesting star. That could be a star on the floor, couldn't it? You can make stars with your hands. It doesn't have to be a perfect star. You could have a nice flat star on the floor. So have a think about what star you'd like to make with your body. Good. So the word star. The next word I want you to think about is sway. Now sway is like a tree swaying in the wind, or or flowers being blown. It's not a sort of aggressive movement, and it's not like you're being blown around, but it's quite a gentle movement from side to side, and the trick is not to fall off balance. So if you can sway, imagine your feet are rooted to the floor, and you're gently being blown from one side to the other, but you're not falling over. You've got really strong roots into the floor. Lovely. That's a nice movement to do, isn't it? Good. Swaying. Okay. One of my favourite ones, twisting. Can you show me a super twisty shape? Anything you like. How many body parts can you twist? Oh my goodness, can we twist our toes? Can we twist our fingers? Can we twist our shoulders, our back? Super twisty. Very nice, well done. Okay, can you show me a direct movement? So this is quite a strong movement, going in one direction quite fast. Okay, so you're very determined, you know where you're going. That's a direct movement. Yes. Arms, could be with your leg. Okay, anything you like, a direct movement or action. That's it. Okay, and the last one, be quite careful with this one. I haven't got lots of space, but it's a slide. Okay, so you can do quite small slides, which I've discovered since we've been in lockdown. So we can do a little slide at home. You can just do a little slide of the feet, almost like a jump slide. Okay, you can just do a slide of the hands going down. It doesn't have to be a big flying across the room slide. So I quite like these little knee slides. So see what you can come up with. Have a play around. Just slide your feet out. Anything you like really, just the hands. Yes, you slide, and that's a nice idea for moving from one place to the other in a dance. Okay, good. So what I want to show you now are a few pictures that I have found. And I want to talk to you a little bit about these vases and urns. Now, vases and urns were created in ancient Greece and used for water or wine, and they were very, very beautiful. So you can already see here these intricate designs that we've got. Can you see here? And they're all different sizes and shapes as well. So we've got some very tall ones. We've got some very short, sort of squat ones here, and quite a small one here as well. The clay was often red because it had iron content in it. So that's why when a lot of these were found, the earth at that time was very red. So that's why a lot of them were red. And the very famous ones were red, and they had sort of black markings on them, you can see here. Because they didn't have lots of colour and paint in those days. So they had to use just the natural colours of the earth. These were made on a pottery wheel, and to make them they tried to make them as smooth as possible, but because each one was handmade, it was quite amazing. Each one was completely different. So it's not like now where in a factory everything is exactly the same. If you look even closer, you could see tiny little dents or little marks, or probably fingerprints as well, and that would make everyone very, very individual. They were cooked in a kiln, which is like a big oven, and this was cooked several times to make them as hard as possible. And because they were made so well, that's why they survived for hundreds and hundreds of years. So when architects came along and dug them up, they were in such amazing condition because they were made so well. They were mainly oval shape, as you can see. This is a sort of ergonomic thing, so they were used to be in a practical way. So they'd have handles so you could easily pour. So they'd hold a lot of wine or water in here, and you'd have a handle, so it'd be very easy to use. But at the same time, they also made them very beautiful. So it wasn't just a practical thing, it was a beautiful thing as well. And the Greeks were very good at combining science and art together. So you had these beautiful shapes, but also it was something that they could use every day in their lives. And one of the most interesting things that we're looking at is the architects discovered that on each of these pictures, on each of the vases and the urns and things, they often had a picture, and they told different things about that period of time. And one of the things that they talked about, or not talked about, sort of drew and designed in their pots and urns were stories, and some were just very simple everyday stories. So you can see here, looks like a harvest, I think. Someone's here on the floor digging out maybe some crops, and someone's here trying to pick things from the tree. So these were everyday things, and in dance we call everyday movements pedestrian movements, and we're going to be looking at that. So they discovered everyday things that that the Greeks designed pots about. And we probably recognise this one. We looked at this last week. They looked at sports, and they loved their sports, didn't they? So as you can see, we've got people running here. So they decided to put these and tell stories about the sports that they put on pots. Another big thing was war heroes. So there were lots of battles going on all the time. And so they decided to put these on pots to maybe celebrate the war heroes as well. So you can see we've got a fight here. They've got a spear. And someone's having a fight with somebody else in this picture. And they also loved, as we know, their mythical creatures. And this one is called Pegasus. And of course, I got really distracted about who Pegasus was because we looked at mythical creatures. And Pegasus was a winged horse. And he was one of two children of Poseidon and Medusa. Do you remember them from before? So he was stabled by Zeus, who was the god of all gods. Do you remember? And he tasked him to pull his chariot of thunderbolts. And he had powers with water, like his father Poseidon. Do you remember? He was the king of the oceans. And when he struck his hoof, two streams appeared. And one of these streams is on Mount Helicon, and the waters drunk would infuse poets' creativity and imagination. So I love that. So these mythical creatures. So when you're creating dances around Pegasus, you can imagine all these things that his backstory. Let's just have a quick look again. So we've got to look at everyday stories. So that's the harvesting. We're looking at the sports, which we looked at before. That's the running. We looked at the war heroes, and they created pots with mythical creatures on them. So this is a brilliant starting point for dance, and I thought what we could do is we are going to take each of those areas and create some movement around them. So what we're going to do is I thought I could start off, okay, and what you can do is you can either copy my phrase or you can make one up of your own. So I'm going to take an everyday movement or an everyday action, and I'm going to look at harvesting, which I really like. So I'm going to have the idea of chopping and then gathering something in. So you can think of your own or you can copy me. So I'm going to chop, chop and gather in. So chop, chop and gather in. And the next one that I really liked was the idea of the sports again. So I'm going to do the discus from last week because I really like that one. So we did a throw, didn't we? Do you remember the discus was like a plate? And we did a sort of practice throw, and then we did a big throw where we let it go. Good, so we go throw and throw, good. The next one is a war hero pose. So I like the idea of that sort of leaning down on someone with a spear, quite a heroic pose like this. So I've got my long spear, and I'm just going to hold that position, good. And then my very last one was my mythical creature, and it's got to be Pegasus, the winged horse. So I'm going to turn and just show my wings here. You can move them if you like. Okay, so we have our harvest. So the everyday picture on the pots. Chop, chop, gather. We've got our discus, throw and throw. We have our war heroes with our spear. Nice, strong, direct position. And finally we have mythical creature of Pegasus. Good. So let's put those together with some music. Okay, what you can do is pause me if you want to have a bit more time to work on your own, or if you want to, you can copy mine. Okay, let's try this with music. Here we go. dramatic. You see, from some very simple bits of pottery, we can actually make quite an interesting, exciting dance. So what we're going to do next is add transitions in between those shapes or movements. And remember, transition is a small movement linking one shape to the other, so it extends our dance and it makes it a little bit more interesting. So transitions, as we talked about before, can be hops, jumps, skips, slides, leaps, turns. Any of those things can link shapes together or movements together. So what I'm going to do is, I thought as I'm on the floor, it'd be really nice with my harvesting, gather it in. I'm going to put my hands on the floor and do a little jump, so I'm ready to throw my discus. And then from my discus, I'm going to go into a turn into my strong spear shape. Okay, so I've added 2 transitions in there already. So I've gone harvest, harvest, gather, jump, discus, and throw, turn, spear. Okay, from my spear, I'm just going to do a small jump. Doesn't have to be a big transition into my Pegasus shape. Okay, so what we're going to do is put that together with music. I'll go through it once more. And what you can do, again, is either copy me or pause me now, and then you can come up with your own ideas, your own transitions for your movements. So you can either pause me, or we can try it with music now. Okay, here we go. How did yours look? I bet that looked brilliant. Okay, it's really good music, that one, isn't it? It's very exciting. So you can see from these bits of pottery that don't sound very interesting, you can actually create something really beautiful, and they are interesting because they have such stories behind them. That from those few little pictures that we saw, we created a really lovely phrase, and you put some really brilliant music with it, and you have a lovely dance. So what we can do is we can carry this on next week. If you want to, you can keep thinking or look back at the pictures that we looked at. You can add more and more onto your dance if you want to. Keep adding transitions and you end up with a really lovely long dance as well. Good, so let's have a cool down. I need to catch my breath. I'm sure you need to catch your breath. Okay, what we're going to do is start off very small, okay, like a little round pot. I'm going to fill ourselves with air like a balloon. I'm going to get bigger and bigger with each breath. So we're going to go breathe in. And then you're imagining someone's coming along and they're going to pop you and all the air is going to come out. And you're going to shrivel down small again. Let's get bigger. Someone's going to come along and pop you. Once more. Good, someone's going to pop. All the way down. Good, standing up. Give your shoulders a shake. Give your arms a shake. Give your legs a shake. Well done. Well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this session and I will see you next time.